Hello YouTubers, this is Mr. Lamb of God back again with another strange video. Today I'm going to be talking about piercings. I only have 4. My ears, which are gauged to 5/8, I talked about that in my last video, and my snake bites. This is actually something I'm testing out to see how I like right now. This is called your septum piercing. Now, I don't know if I would get 2 of them or not, just because, well, at the same time anyways, because with swelling and stuff that almost seems like it could be a problem. This is just this sort of thing. And then the balls just dangle on there and you just pop it on there. I'm not trying to like pass it off as having my septum pierced or anything. If anyone asks, I would just tell them. I'm honestly just trying to get I've been wearing it for like a day or 2. I'm just trying to get the feel right now to see if I really like how it looks or how it feels. Because if not, then I'm not going to commit to getting it pierced. But honestly, I think if I did, I wouldn't wear a perfect circle one like this. I would wear one that's more like a horseshoe shape, just because I could then flip it up inside of my nose if I had to for like work or anything like that. Like my snake bites, you can put little clear things in there. You can get the silicone flesh colored things for my ears, whatever. So then there's my snake bites. These, how it works is, it's like a little ball screwed onto the front of a rod. It's kind of hard to talk while I'm showing you. Yeah, like that. And then inside, there is a little plate. That just makes it so it can't slide through. With these you can get like any range of different tips for your rods on here. Mine are just plain silver balls. They have like a small, medium, and large one at most piercing parlors. And yeah, they're, I don't know, people would think that they're a lot more annoying than they are. I've had mine for like 3 months about. Mine are pretty much healed up. My one actually is kind of getting a little infected. I'll talk about that a little bit later and how to like get rid of infections and stuff, because they're gonna happen in your lips, because that's, your mouth is eating stuff all the time, and that's a really like bad place to, well, not really a bad place, just like an open place for infection. Like tongue piercings are the same way. It's easy to get infected, especially when you're within your first few months of having it pierced like me. So, they didn't really hurt that bad when I got them done, per se. It pretty much is, it feels like popping like a big, deep skin pimple. One of those ones where like you're just trying to pop it and it doesn't really work, then it finally happens and it's like, oh fuck, that did not feel good at all. It's kind of like that. I'd say the worst part probably was after feeling it the first time, knowing that it was going to happen again, and being like, oh shit, again. And right now I have a shorter bar in this side and a longer bar in this side. You can't really tell though, because like I said, this side's a little infected and swollen. So that's how it works. When you get it pierced, they'll put a longer bar in, and that's just to allow it to swell up and everything and not like crush down on your lip and make a little like pit in your lip, which would be awful and probably get infected pretty badly. So always make sure that you mention that they put the longer bars in if they don't already specify that they are. I'm sure they probably will though, because if you're going somewhere that's a semi-professional piercing parlor, they should know what they're doing, especially with lip piercings. They're pretty common. And yeah, all the different piercings. These, like I said, are called snake bites, just one side. I don't really know what that's called. It doesn't really need a specific name. The middle is called your labret. The middle and the top is called your medusa. One side is called the Monroe. On either side, I think. I'm not really sure if it's separate for either side. Except for like Marilyn Monroe, because she had the mole on one side of her face. That was more up here though, so I don't know. And then it's angel bites are like this, but up here. You can get these like further out or further down, or you can put hoops in them, or whatever. I've seen people with all different things, but I've actually seen people even gauge their lips like in the middle, or people do it with their nostrils or their septum, or pretty much gauge anything. It's just, I don't know, seems like anything except for like your earlobes. They don't really like get in the way of anything, except for something I would suggest. If you find a size that you're going to stay stable at, like me, this size, I'm actually supposed to be getting some silicone some silicone tunnels in the mail today. Those seem like they would be a lot more comfortable than these, especially when you're sleeping or just doing like general things. Like, I don't know, when you're sleeping and you're laying on these, the metal's like pushing up against your head either side, and sometimes it can just be a little annoying in like general activities. But for the most part, it's not. I like the look of them. I don't know if I like the look of all the metal, like with the septum, the snake bites, and this. So, I don't know. I might get like black ball tips for my snake bites, or like I said, I have a pair of wooden plugs coming today, a pair of acrylic plugs, a pair of silicone plugs, and a pair of silicone tunnels and wooden plugs. So, and some double flare metal tunnels. Yeah, I think I said that already. But yeah, those are supposed to be coming today. Those are from plugyourholes.com. Pretty good site. But yeah, back to the snake bite piercings. After you pierce them, they pierce them. Probably wouldn't suggest doing it yourself. I've seen a lot of people do lip piercings themselves. They don't heal up the same. A lot more scar tissue. They kind of like eternally stay red. It just doesn't look the same. The placement's hard to do, especially with snake bites. Someone who's a professional, they'll like dot out where they're gonna pierce it first, so they can make sure that they get like the same side. Like for mine, you can kind of see, if I can light a little bit more, it runs like straight down with my nostrils. You can have them line it up like that. You can have them go a little bit outside. You can get them like here even. You can get your dimples, that's way up here. You can get a dermal, that's like anywhere. They just put a little anchor in your skin, and then something screws into it, and they put a ball on top. But that's not what we're talking about. So, infections. What they do, after you get your lip pierced, they will give you sea salt. Now this, I got a bag, and they said mix the bag with a gallon of distilled water, and after every meal or like cigarette, I don't smoke, but after like cigarettes, you're supposed to use non-alcoholic mouthwash. That's something you should do pretty religiously when you first get it done for the first like 2 weeks, just to let them heal up, because smoking, a lot of like creosote and bacteria on that, and you don't want that on your piercings because that's definitely going to get infected. They kind of pus for like a little bit, like a very, very, very unnoticeable bit. Pretty much the only time it happens, I've noticed, is when you're not really like moving it around. So like during the night it'll happen, but if you shower in the morning, then it'll probably get rid of it anyways. You can wash them off in the morning or pretty much do whatever. And yeah, if you do the sea salt baths like they say and mouthwash like they say, nothing should really get infected. For me, this side of my lip actually got split open at this concert, this Attila Outlawed concert. It was actually very fun, but I definitely took an elbow to the face and bashed my face off the back of someone's head and the floor and got pretty beat up. So, yeah, right over my snake bite got split open. That was before I had it pierced, and then they pierced it like right on the scar tissue for some reason. No clue what they were thinking, probably just didn't really think anything of it. But now, as you might be able to see in the light again, this side is a little bit higher, and on the inside, this side just looks, you know, it's got a little bit of a like indent built where the plate goes. Then this side is getting a little nasty, looks a little irritated. That's why I put the longer bar back in. I've been doing saline baths for a few days. It only started up like a week or two ago. A lot of times when they get infections, it'll just happen and then go away pretty quick, so nothing really to worry about there. But again, make sure your parents are okay with these sort of things, along with your employer, because facial piercings can really be a big deal to some people. So, yep, pretty much covers it. And this is Mr. Lamb of God, and have a nice day, YouTubers.